Why does Kazi Farm sell eggs through auctions? Eggs can have varying quality and they are priced accordingly. Larger eggs are sold at higher price than smaller eggs. Dark brown eggs are sold at higher price than light colored eggs. Now, the commercial eggs that are sold through auctions at Kazi Farms are of higher quality compared to the average quality of bulk eggs sold by farmers in the wholesale market. In the wholesale market, these better quality eggs are expected to be priced higher, and Kazi Farms must figure out the market clearing price for such eggs. They could guess the price, then hope and pray that all eggs are sold. They could also negotiate the price with individual buyers. Alternatively, they could hold a simple auction and establish a market clearing price based on the demand from these buyers. There is no guessing of price needed in this method, and it's arguably efficient, transparent, and fair. They have chosen the auction method. How common is Kazi Farm's method of selling eggs? The auction method that they use is a simpler version of what is popularly known as the uniform price auction rule. In this market, each bidder submits a bid consisting of the maximum price they want to pay and the maximum quantity they want to purchase. The auction price is then set at the market clearing level, that is the maximum price at which all the available eggs will be sold. All their buyers then pay that same price. Now, the last point needs to be emphasized a bit. The fact that all Kazi Farms buyers get to purchase similar eggs for similar prices is a very noteworthy practice, because when retailers have to pay the same price, they compete on a level playing field in the retail market. That competition is good for the consumers. Exactly how is this auction conducted? Every day, except Friday and some holidays, in the morning, Kazi Farms announces their offer price for the different eggs. In auction terminology, it is called the floor price or the reserve price. That is the price below which bids will not be accepted. The bidders have some time to submit their quantity and price bids. After that, Kazi Farms determines the market clearing price and how many eggs each successful bidder receives. To see how it works, let's take an example. Suppose bidder 1 bids 13 taka for 300 eggs, bidder 2 bids 12 taka 50 paisa for 600 eggs, bidder 3 bids 12 taka for 400 eggs, and bidder 4 bids 11 taka for 500 eggs. Based on these bids, if the price is above 13 taka, no egg will be sold. For a price above 12 taka and 50 paisa, but up to 13 taka, the bidders demand 300 eggs. For a price above 12 taka, but up to 12 taka and 50 paisa, the bidders demand 900 eggs, and so on. This is the market demand that the bidders have submitted. Now, suppose Kazi Farms has 1,000 eggs to sell. So that is the supply. At a price of 12 taka, the quantity demanded is exactly equal to the quantity supplied. And that is the market clearing price. Just like it would happen in a normal market. Is uniform price rule used anywhere else? Uniform price auction rule is used in many places and in many forms because it's fair to the buyers, all of whom get to pay the similar price for similar goods. Auctions are conducted in some financial markets under this rule. In Singapore, licenses for car ownership is sold by the government using a version of this rule. The New Zealand GDT auction is a more dynamic and more complicated version, but the idea again is to establish a uniform market clearing price for each product. So the list is again very long. If market clearing price is going to be established by demand and supply, then why does Kazi Farms have an offer price? As I said, what Kazi Farm calls offer price is known as reserve price in uniform price auctions elsewhere. GDT auctions also use reserve prices. They call it the starting price. And the starting price for the given milk product is set by the seller of that product ahead of the auction. Now, a reserve price plays some very important roles in auctions. First, it helps sellers to receive a fair price in the market. Eggs are sold by other farms too. Kazi farms will have to ensure that the price they receive does not fall below those prices, especially when their eggs are of higher quality. A second and a very important role of the reserve price is to protect the seller. Auctions are transparent means of buying and selling, but they are not immune to certain types of problems. Bidders may collude and form syndicates, then submit low bids in the auctions and bring the price down. Think of this example that I mentioned earlier. Suppose the bidders form a syndicate and bidder 1 bids 1 taka 20 paisa for 200 eggs, bidder 2 bids 1 taka 15 paisa for 400 eggs, bidder 3 bids 1 taka 10 paisa for 300 eggs, and bidder 4 bids 1 taka for 500 eggs. They'll drive the auction price to 1 taka, causing a huge loss to Kazi farms. This example is extreme because I wanted to show how it works. But it's not uncommon for bidders to do this in less obvious ways. Some years ago, major poultry producers in the US were charged with collusion and submitting low bids when they were bidding for supply contracts from KFC. It is rarely the case that a seller does not set a reserve price in an auction. So Kazi Farm's practice of setting offer price is very standard. How does Kazi Farm set its offer price? Could offer price help in price fixing? Basically, Kazi Farms estimates the likely auction price using available market information. And they set the offer price slightly below this estimate to encourage bidders to participate in their auctions. Now, it's important to understand that setting offer price in this way has absolutely nothing to do with price fixing. I don't know of any instance where a seller has been charged with price fixing for setting a minimum acceptable price based on estimated market price in its daily auctions. As for collusion for price fixing, Kazi Farm has vehemently denied making any agreement to fix prices with the Tejgaon Egg Traders Association. It states very clearly that it has never communicated with either Tejgaon Egg Traders Association or anyone else with any intention to fix prices. Kazi Farm sets a minimum offer price to protect themselves. Then why did they increase the offer price when there is supply shortage? When you run an auction and want to have a good reputation as a business, you will need to set your rules consistently over time. Kazi Farm's offer price tracks the market clearing price established in their auctions. As they have already checked the wholesale market egg price on the previous night, they know whether the egg price is likely to go up or down. They always set an offer price which is lower than their expected selling price, so that buyers will have an incentive to bid. Now, if market price rises, the offer price rises. And if market price falls, the offer price falls as well. Again, this is not much different from how reserve prices are set elsewhere for farm products. When there is a shortage of supply and the market price tends to go up, if Kazi Farm sets a higher reserve price, that makes auction price go up too, isn't it? Not really. This is a misunderstanding of the role of reserve price. The reserve price here plays a role only when there aren't enough serious bidders in the auctions. If there are enough bidders bidding in the auction and the demand is more than the supply, the offer price plays no role except to safeguard the seller against potential collusion by the bidders. Think about the earlier example where bidders bid 13 taka for 300 eggs, 12.50 taka for 600 eggs, 12 taka for 400 eggs, and 11 taka for 500 eggs with 1,000 eggs to sell, and an offer price of 10 taka and 50 paisa. The price there is 12 taka. Even if you lower the offer price to 1 taka, it will not change the price if bidders are bidding independently based on their true demand. The only thing that having a price of 1 taka could do here is to allow bidders to form a collusive syndicate and lower the price to 1 taka, like I discussed earlier. Is it possible that Kazi Farms could collude with some of their buyers and get them to submit high bids to raise price in their auctions? Yes, of all the possible ways to manipulate the market, this would be the most realistic way they could manipulate auction price. They could secretly enter into an agreement with one of their bidders to submit high bids to raise the price in the auction. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's take an example. Bidder 1 bids 13 taka for 300 eggs. Bidder 2 bids 1250 taka for 600 eggs. Bidder 3 bids 12 taka for 400 eggs. Bidder 4 bids 11 taka for 500 eggs, with Kazi Farm selling 1000 eggs again. The auction price is 12 taka. Kazi Farms can secretly get the third bidder to increase the bid from 12 taka to 1250 taka. That raises the price in the auction from 12 to 12 taka and 50 paisa. Kazi Farm makes more profit, right? But then how about bidder 3? He bought the eggs for 1250 instead of 12. Now, when he sells to the retailers, he will have a profit that is 50 paisa less per egg. So he loses money to help Kazi Farms. Bidder 3 could avoid the loss by raising his price to the retailers by 50 paisa, but then he's going to lose his own buyers. There are more complex ways in which this could play out, which I will not discuss to avoid making this discussion too long. But what I really want to stress here is that if bidder 3 helps Kazi Farms to increase auction price, that would be reflected in the auction result. The colluding bidder 3's bid will then set the price in the auction. Now, Kazi Farms has been accused of colluding with Faisal Enterprise between August 9 and August 13. If they did collude, that would be serious. But if you look at the auction results, you can see that during that period, there was not a single auction in which Faisal Enterprises' successful bid became the selling price in the auction. Faisal Enterprise could have bid 1 lakh taka per egg in the auctions they were successful in between August 9 and 13, but that would not have changed the price in the auction even by 1 paisa. So the economic evidence in the data does not include collusion between Faisal Enterprise and Kazi Farms. So what is your conclusion from examining Kazi Farms auctions? It seems to be that Kazi Farms is following a very standard practice of selling. Auctions are designed by governments and private agencies to do precisely what Kazi Farms is doing, to set a market clearing price. The auction records would have shown a pattern of systematic manipulation if there was one, but you do not see any such pattern. Faisal Enterprises' bids did not set the auction prices. You can forget everything that I've said and look at the concentration of market power in the Bangladesh egg market. With 3% market share, Kazi Farm stands absolutely no chance of influencing the market price in any significant way. Besides, they have been using the same method for carrying out their auctions that they have done before August 9. I tend to mention the US Department of Justice because the laws there are very strong and very strictly enforced. Yet, I have not found a single case where they prosecuted businesses with such low market share for collusion without clear evidence of telephonic conversations or email exchanges indicating some sort of collusion between owners or the managers of the businesses. It's commendable that Kazi Farms is using a modern method of trading to sell their eggs. It's a traditional bazaar type market, with traders not being familiar with the modern trading methods. Yet Kazi Farms has introduced ideas like establishing market clearing price, charging similar prices for similar items to their buyers. If you ask economists with long-time expertise in auctions and markets, they'll tell you that this method should be used more widely to increase economic gains to both the producers and consumers. In the long run, that would strengthen the market and the economy. Yes, there has been price rise due to trucking problems, and there will be market shocks of some sort or the other in future. But to blame Kazi Farms auctions will simply discourage others from using modern trading methods in future. And that cannot be good for the producers and consumers of Bangladesh.